Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. This is obviously a Sunday. All of my folks are going out to church to do what they do. You know what they do if you go to church. And so I was thinking about tagging along. Really couldn't feel any urges to go because I didn't think I'd get a chance to have any words. And perhaps on top of some other concerns. But I find myself here thinking, and all of a sudden a thought comes to me that makes some stuff clear. So when I'm speaking to people, I can tell them about it. So I thought about maybe sharing it with you. This would be my little gift of passing along the sweet, wonderful spirit of love through me to you. And it's sort of like this. You know, when we talk about religion or Christianity or any of these kinds of things, I ask people, why not just go straight to the source? Why not just go straight to God rather than go through any of those things? Those other things are things that seem to have sprung off the idea of God. All of them springing off some idea of God and giving you some information about God. So I say to you, why not you? We as individuals go straight to God. We don't need these others, if and especially since they differ, especially at the outcome that we see presented before us today, considering the time that they've been in existence. I say we ought to be daring and go straight to God, God's self. Excuse me. Now, what am I basically saying? I'm saying that if God's way is for peace and prosperity and happiness and joy in life, which each of us as individuals so desire, and we would love to experience these things in our lives, then why not go and make sure that that is available to us? And in so doing, we find out that it is, especially those concerns that deals with our survival, that are common amongst us all. The resources have been given; they are pointed out to us where they're at. It's appointed to us through a form of education of how to access it, and then we access it and do what we're supposed to make sure that everybody gets it. And now everybody's doing a career of their own choice because now they found out and discovered that that is the best way to do things, because in it we find joy in doing it, and at the same time it's interconnected with that everybody else is doing, and it's meeting the needs of all the people everywhere. And everybody's involved, and we have that peace and that prosperity, that joy of life. And our dreams come true. And then it opens up so that all of the other things that we like to do, transportation, travel to Paris, go visit our friends, go visit our used to be enemies that are now our friends, go visit other parts of the world. All of these things are scot-free because we're all doing what we were given to do. We have made the choice, that our choice, which gives us where we're coming from, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute, a rude awakening. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm telling you that God wants from you. This is what is required if you say you want the peace. Now, listen here. Those of you who got children, you love them as much as you possibly could from the day that they came into this world until that moment they told you, now, I'm doing it my way. That moment when it was discovered that they had got to the point that they had experienced in their own minds enough in life that they didn't need you to tell them no more. In other words, it's time for them, they say, to go. Like the prodigal son, it's time to go. Give me mine so I can go. And you can't do a thing about it because they've come to that point. And they step out. And you hate to see them go sometimes. Sometimes you're glad to see them go. But nevertheless, they go, because they have come to that point in life. We all understand that after a while, after we go through the changes that we have been neglected or rejected, but we wake up and see that they moved on just like we moved on. Now, for you to understand that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to use that as an example for what it means when you start talking about God. I'm not talking about that Christianity stuff. I'm not talking about that Islam stuff. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm talking about God. When you have an understanding of God. God's way is, for an example, as I have just described it to you, where everybody's dreams are coming true. They've made the decision. Now, when they don't make that decision, when they decide to make another decision, it could be any of them, any decision. Or if it's one decision over there and everybody decides to go that way, it's the same thing. It's your decision, your choice. And when your choice, for instance, here in America, we do not have what I just described to you about God's way. Because for some strange reason, somebody came and told us about capitalism. They told us that the resources of the earth did not belong to God, but belonged to whoever was bad enough and mean enough or whatever that was required to own it, to take it, and claim it as their own. They made us understand that since they had these resources, and since they were all connected to those essentials for our survival, that they could manipulate that any kind of way they wanted to use us who need those resources to survive to achieve a goals that they themselves have. And the goals that they themselves have are not the same goals that I just told you about God, which is for all of you. It's for them to play God. So all of the things, all of everything that is possessed on earth, they themselves can own it. They themselves can distribute it. They themselves can punish people. They themselves can use people. They themselves can abuse people anytime they get ready for whatever reason they so desire. And the only reason that they can do that is because the people themselves are totally under bondage, totally enslaved to all of the junk that they've been fed that brought them to this point, not recognizing that they are instruments of the Almighty God. And anything that takes them away from that is a tool of Satan, is a tool of choice, is a tool of destruction. And you want to come back to the path of life. And I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that the path of life is going back to God as an individual. And I'll tell you, if you are back to God, and I'm talking about the true God, then you'll love yourself. As I heard somebody say, you can look in the mirror and smile at yourself. You're satisfied with yourself. And why are you satisfied with yourself? Because you know that nobody in the world can say anything negative about you now. Why? Because your life is committed to them. Your life is committed that everything you do plays a major role in their life, in their dreams, in the manifestation of their dreams. And you don't have to bow your heads to nobody. Now, why? Because you're a representative of God. Not a patriot of some ideas that somebody decided to come up with here in the West, or somebody decided to come up with in the East. No, my friends. You are an instrument of the power that is responsible for you being on earth. Recognizing this, and you will soon, that the power that is in you is God. That breath that's in you that gives you the ability to do all of the things that you do, that's God. Now how you use that, that's determined by you and by influences. But you got the power, you got the authority to turn off that light and turn on a new light. And allow love, allow truth, allow joy. And I'm talking about you as an individual, regardless of what all of the other individuals in the world do. It's not, I used to think it was, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. King had thousands of people drawn. And there have been other people who just draw thousands. Even Barack Obama, when he was speaking after the great victory, had millions listening to him. I always thought that the message that I bring to you was so exciting that the whole world would listen. And not that I was trying to draw attention to me, even though I did want to be recognized as somebody that was a great lover to the human race. I wanted that. But I thought that would happen a long time ago. So now recognize how troubled we are as a people and how deep that infestation of indoctrination that is denied the reality of God. It makes me wonder. But it doesn't stop me. what it does, it lets me know that I can shine even more, and I need to shine even more, which means I got to do more walking and cut out a little of this talking, because some people just ain't buying it. And so whether I'm doing it right or whether I'm doing it wrong is determined by me and my ability to carry on. Because if I'm led by the Spirit, then nothing can stop me from shining, because it is not me. It is what each and every last one of you can be if you allow the Spirit of God to stand up in you. So, as I was saying, I don't even know if I said it, just like those kids walked away from their parents, they were adults. People who have been led by the Spirit of God wake up and they see America as it truly is. They wake up, they see Russia as it truly is. They wake up, they see all of the countries all over the earth the way they are. And there's only one that's outstanding. It is only one that gives them the peace and the prosperity, and that's God's way. And so they began to become a light unto the people of the United States. They become a light unto the people of Russia, the people of China. They become a light to people all over the globe, shining truth, shining love, so that all will know that God's way is the way, because it is the only one that will open up doors. It will tear down walls rather than build them. It will bring you in, and they will go out into the places where you come from to spread the sunshine of love wherever you come from, so that you can grasp and be energized by the new vitamin D, or should I say vitamin love, and become an instrument of the true God of love. And watch your nations, watch them everywhere just bloom and blossom, that you look like heaven is happening right amongst you. Heaven, ladies and gentlemen. Not thinking about bombs, not thinking about building space arsenals. No. We're thinking if we are up there, it's to smile and see places that we've never dreamed that we get a chance to see before. And here we are by the Spirit and love of the Almighty, love for one another. We are. It's time we wake up. We're not mad with capitalism and all of these other isms that have kept us in bondage. They didn't know how to turn us loose, and we didn't know where to turn ourselves loose and go. But here we are now. We are waking up. Waking up. Truth will do that to you. It certainly will. But now, some of us can be so ignorant. That maybe you can turn toast on and let it stay on too long and forget about it. Next thing you know, it's burning, which means I think I smell something. I think I better go. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.